Hi, my name is Mike Kenny, Regional Sales Director here at Center for Vein Restoration. I've been with CVR now cumulatively for a little bit over 3 years. Yeah, so I actually left CVR kind of mid-pandemic time, a lot of uncertainties in the world, but really kind of had a chance when I did that to kind of evaluate all the good things that I was actually doing here at CVR and kind of all the impact that we were making and all the headway we made, with our whole sales team and our whole sales business unit. And it really gave me time to step back and kind of reflect on that a little bit and kind of really take a look at where I wanted to be versus kind of, where I thought I needed to be. And it was a great experience for me to actually reflect a little bit and then kind of make a decision to come back to CVR and really be around some people that I knew trusted my skills and what I could bring to the table and really how I could help the team and be a part of a team. Yeah, so I mean, one of the things is many of the people in our business unit will tell you is, I really love collaborating with people, and CVR has definitely given me the chance to do that. They've really taken the skill set that I have and allowed me to kind of use that to the best of my ability, from training to being out in the field and doing, boots on the ground sales work. I'm really kind of across that whole board. And, that's one of the major things that brought me back to CVR is having that voice and being able to have a real impact across the whole team and working with people all over the country. I've got to know people all the way from our clinics out in Michigan, all the way down to Alabama, to South Carolina, and really got to partner with them on a lot of things and help them. And that's really what I wanted to be a part of. Yeah, I think one of the big parts is I've worked for a lot of really large organizations, and CVR is definitely growing. We are definitely, we're trying to conquer the world here for sure, but I've worked for some really large organizations. And one of the things I always missed was, really having my input heard and my voice heard. And while that doesn't always mean there were changes made because of that, I knew people were listening and they took pieces of that and implemented along the way. Maybe not full-scale changes to things, but really took pieces of that and implemented it. And that type of leadership is something I want to be a part of. And now I can be. As the regional sales director, I listen to my team about things how we can improve. And I try to do that same type of relationship with them that was offered back to me when I came back. And that was really one of the motivating factors for me. And one of the things, as you said, to kind of reflect on and to look back on and say, how can I make an impact? And a lot of it is just being able to have dialogue about change and about the direction of the company and, where we can focus to get better. Because that's one thing I'm always trying to do even with myself. And CVR really offered that ability to have my voice heard. One of the best things that I always find is, that servant type of leadership, where you're there to help people. We always have things, and especially in companies that are growing and large companies, we always have initiatives and programs that we're always going to work on. But at the end of the day, this role is about being able to be a support factor for the people on my team. So if they need me for a meeting, if they need me to help them strategize a territory, if they need to help figure out how to do some administrative things a little bit more efficiently, that's really where I see this role progress right now and where we've created the most impact. And some of my team members have really maximized how they've used me. Some of them use me again to learn things, and some of them are using me out in the field, specifically to work with them in some of their accounts. And it's more about, working together and being supportive there than anything else. It was good. I stayed in contact with some of the members of our team, in my time away. And, I developed some good relationships with people here at CVR that, when I left, it was nothing to do as much with CVR as more of the unknown of the world at that time and kind of what was going on. And so I kept in contact with, a bunch of people that were part of our sales team. And we had some fun conversations. And I think that, again, the people and kind of those relationships that I developed over the years and got to know what their objectives were and what their goals were and the types of people they wanted around them in the organization at different types of positions, this leadership position, and then also even at the liaison level as well too, what they were looking to kind of harness and kind of build it up. I think those conversations and I think those relationships were one of the things that I noticed and reflected on a lot as I kind of stepped away for a short period of time, you know? Yeah, I've had this conversation with a few people recently. One of the big things everybody's looking is to kind of grow and do more. I think the one thing, that it always strikes me is taking initiative on things. I think one of the things that we all have to do, and one of the things I always strive on myself, is just going after and doing it and taking initiative and not waiting for somebody else to create something. We talked about relationships. When I was a liaison, there were some opportunities I had to help people across the whole country with certain marketing initiatives, coaching efforts, some trainings. And a lot of those things weren't really spurred on by somebody asking. It was me realizing that, like, hey, I could help out my friends that are doing the same job. And that'd be pretty awesome if I got to know the liaison in Michigan and the liaison in New Jersey. And if I could help them out, that would be great. And that's really where, I see the growth in our company could come from, is people working together out there, but taking initiative to do that. Not waiting as much as it to be a directive or something that somebody asks you to do, just going out there and doing it. And that's, I think that's one of the things that definitely want to see, CVR kind of thrive with. Our senior management leadership, we have a lot of candor and a lot of open dialogue when it comes to performance and how things are going. But you can't have trust unless you have those open dialogues. Just in a meeting today, one of my colleagues, spoke her opinion very specifically about things that should be addressed. And those things were heard. And the only way that we can accomplish goals and tackle obstacles is if we have that type of dialogue and really understand where different people's perspectives are coming from and why certain decisions are being made. And that's where trust really comes in life, is understanding, right? As a sales rep, I always tell people, intel is key, knowing what's going on, right? Well, that also, when you work with some colleagues, that's what develops trust and understanding why certain decisions are being made and why we have to do things a certain way. And that's really where I find the foundations of that trust come from. Yeah, we're a growing company. I know my experience and where I've been. I owned a business when I was very young for over a decade. And then I went to work for one of the largest businesses in the world, one of the largest medical device companies in the world. And so I've seen both ends, from brick and mortar all the way to the establishment, right, to the large, big Fortune 500 companies. And we're on that trajectory. Like, we're growing at that level and at that pace. And, that's the best way I can describe CVR is it's on a very high trajectory as far as growth. And that's something that people should be aware of, as they look at it for opportunities, as they ask people about it. While there's always can be fluctuation with those things, with growth and scalability and all these things, that is the direction our company's going. And that's one of the things that drove me back, was that I knew that growth was there and we had the people in place to make that growth happen. And that's very exciting, like that. And it's an exciting time to be here because, we're moving at such a fast pace. So if that's something people want, it can be a lot of fun.